Previously on As Father and Son.
My theory is that this whole shebang is all been helmed by the evil robot Ultron.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of As Father and Son. In this episode, we're going to talk about some things in Wandavision that we feel that need to be wrapped up in a neat bow and given to us
For Christmas.
for Christmas. Okay, so the first thing on our list is what we talked about last time, and I'm going to hand it over to Aiden for that one.
So you guys all heard about my Ultron theory, and I feel like this theory was only furthered. I don't know if that's the correct term, but whatever. Only furthered in this latest episode, because is blank vision, the white vision we saw at the end of last episode, really Ultron? Because me and Daddy have talked about the fact that if James Spader's voice comes out of that robot,
I will freak out.
We're all going to go insane.
We're going insane.
I mean, but that's what we're expecting,
Yes,
or
that's
something to that effect.
That's what we want to happen anyway.
Yes. Or he gets red eyes. Just something to let us know Ultron's back. He's so cool. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and we took the screenshot of Age of Ultron when Bruce and Tony are working we're trying to create Ultron, and you have the one AI, which is Jarvis, and then you have the AI next to him, which is Ultron. And Ultron is that blue color, the same blue as in the eyes of blank vision.
Of this new vision.
And it's also cool because when Wanda actually creates Vision in that scene where she loses it and creates Vision, like the way he comes together is very similar to the AI of Jarvis in Age of Ultron,
Very
which is
similar
pretty cool.
look, very similar colors. This is mainly his theory. I'm excited about this one. Hit it.
Okay, so I need to know who Jimmy Woo's missing person is. If you remember back in episode 4, when Jimmy Woo first shows up, he's talking about that Westview was originally like a missing persons case. And then in episode 7, when Wanda's getting out her milk to pour her cereal, the bottle starts glitching and becomes a milk carton. And on the back of that milk carton is a missing persons picture. I would love, with all of my being, for that missing person to be Jimmy Woo's missing person. I would love for them to tie that together because that would make me go insane. I would love that. Okay, another thing about the missing persons case is this. When Wanda first goes to Westview, if you'll notice that the town is very run down, everybody seems like they're in despair. And so I can't help but wonder, did the missing persons case have to do with the town becoming what it was? So that'll be interesting to see if they do something with that or not. I don't know. But again, that's just me. That's what I would love to see.
Yeah, I would be pretty excited if that were the case as well.
Yeah. Okay, one more thing about that. When Wanda, the reason that Wanda actually goes to Westview is because she finds that note in her car. Now listen, we've talked about this. There's no way that note was just in her car. Somebody put that note there.
They better not leave that on time. I'm gonna be mad if they do.
I know.
That's a big loophole.
Because who put that note there?
Notes just don't spontaneously appear out of thin air.
That's right. And I want to say shout out to Ryan Arey at Screencrush for noticing the fact that Wanda just happened to end up in a house right next to a witch with like a castle in her basement.
Yeah.
What are the chances of
witch's
that?
Basement. Vision just happened to hand her a lot that was right next to that. Like, how does that happen?
I know, exactly. So there's got to be something there. We really need them to tie that up.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, go ahead.
Who the ever-loving heck is Pietro?
Who is Pietro?
Because
oh my gosh, that's making me crazy.
Clearly, he's not just like a Green Lantern construct.
No, and also Agatha didn't just create him.
Exactly.
But she said that he was just her eyes and ears.
Yeah, it was like she mind controlled him.
So what is he and who is he?
That needs to be solved.
Please
that can't just be a person
up.
on the street. It could be his missing person.
That could be the missing person. See, that would be cool too.
That would be very cool. Yeah, and also the intro in episode 7. The camera keeps going one to one, but one of them says on the refrigerator in paper letters, "I know what you're doing, Wanda." And clearly now we know from this latest episode it was not Agatha, because Agatha had no idea what she was doing. That's what she was trying to figure out, is how she created the hex. So clearly she didn't know what Wanda was doing, so somebody did, and somebody put those letters on that fridge.
Yeah, I need them to tie that one up too. Please tie that
Could be
one up, because
Nightmare.
that's making me crazy.
Could be Ultron.
Yes.
Could be many people.
Could be many people. Okay, in episode 5 and 6, Monica Rambeau starts talking about she has a guy who's a what?
Aerospace engineer.
A neurospace engineer. We still don't know who this person is. We don't know if that's going to be the big cameo or what, but I'm looking forward to seeing who in the deuce that guy is.
Could be Mr. Fantastic.
Could be.
All right, another Who question. There seems to be a lot of these in the show.
Yes.
Who is Ralph?
Who is Ralph?
Because
I'm done. I can't even, I have no clue.
Ralph could be the rabbit, although I would prefer not. I think it could be Nightmare. I think it could be one of the other magic people. But we need an answer to that, because you don't just keep talking about a person and not show them for no reveal at the end. So we need an answer to that question somehow.
Oh my gosh, I just had a thought.
Oh dear.
What if Ralph is Hayward?
That was incredible. We couldn't have planned that.
I know.
See,
like, I literally just struck me. I'm like, what if Ralph is Hayward? Oh, that would be insane.
That would be nuts.
Oh my gosh. So far, we have seen 2 books in Agatha's basement.
2.
I forget what the one is called. The one with the orange glow.
The one that people have theorized it's a book from the comics called The Darkhold. We don't know if that's true, but we do have a theory about where it comes from.
Yes, and then also now we've seen a book, but in the scene where she like throws the bird to Senior Scratchy, and there's a book behind him. Now that book looks more like the books that we're getting ready to talk about. When you go back to Doctor Strange, in the scene where Doctor Strange and Wong are in the library going through the Ancient Ones collection, on the wall is a bunch of hexagons. Hexagons everywhere.
There's everywhere.
Everywhere. So, on this wall, in the middle of all these hexagons, there's one book missing. Now, people have theorized that that's the book of Cagliostro. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
But that's not the book, because Doctor Strange pulls down a different book, and that's the book of Cagliostro. The one that's missing is missing the whole time. So, did Agatha, when the witches talk about her going back and stealing magic above her age and station,
yes,
did she take a book from the Ancient One?
From Kamar-Taj.
Yeah, did she take as one of those books from Kamar-Taj? Now, here's why I say that. The magic in Doctor Strange is the same color orange that emanates from the Darkhold. And also, when Agatha is at the stake and she starts to turn purple, you can see the same color orange like up in her throat, and that same color orange glow is coming out of her. And so I can't help but wonder if all that stuff is tied together. Now, having said that, here's one more thing about it that we noticed. That Dormammu, his color in the dark dimension is purple.
It's purple.
And when what is the guy's name?
Who?
The villain.
Caecilius?
Yes, Caecilius. I could not remember his name.
Yeah.
I almost said Cassius Clay. It's not him. It's not him at all. Anyway, so when Caecilius, when all their eyes, do the dark dimension thing, they all turn purple too. So are these things connected? I have no idea, but I'm fascinated to find out.
Colors are good Easter eggs in Marvel.
Yes, they are. Indeed.
Another thing about colors is that in the quantum realm, we get that same orangish glow from the quantum realm that is kind of similar to Doctor Strange's magic and on Agatha. And it's just, it seems almost as if they're tied together. We're not sure.
We don't know. I have no idea anymore. But it is cool because we went back and watched Ant-Man and Wasp.
We did.
And
there are hexagons in that too.
Well, there's hexagons in that. There's hexagons everywhere in the MCU.
Everywhere.
Which we kind of are thinking that the hexagons are kind of like maybe the building blocks of the multiverse. That kind of maybe what they are. Who knows? Anyway, when we watched Ant-Man and Wasp, we noticed 2 things. Number one, in the quantum realm, there's that same orangish color glow as like all the magic that's happening. And also, at the end, at the end, when Janet Van Dyne tries to bring Hank back, and then later on she
she does that same thing to Ghost.
She does the same thing to Ghost with her 2 fingers that Vision does in WandaVision.
To snap people out of Wanda.
Yeah, to snap people out of their despair. Yes, that Janet Van Dyne does the same thing. So it's interesting. I don't know if it means anything, but it is interesting.
Very interesting.
And speaking of hexagons, this made me go, and I don't know if it means anything, However, when the scene when Wanda goes to Hayward's office and he's like, hey, look down at Vision, and Vision's body is scattered out. It's scattered out into 6 pieces, and you can actually draw a hexagon in around the shape of the tables where his body is.
That's not for no reason. I can go ahead and tell you right now.
That made me nuts. And there's hexagons inside Vision's body, like the way they made him. Like you can see the hexagons in there too. So hexagons are everywhere.
Everywhere. They surround us. They penetrate us. They bind the galaxy together. All right, so this is a huge bombshell that we're excited to explain to you guys about.
Now, and again, so let me preface this by saying I have no idea if this is true. I doubt it's going to be true, but it was very interesting. It's something we thought of because we're crazy like that. So here it is.
It's a theory. We believe that the V that was signed in that deed that supposedly Vision gave to Wanda in that note that led her to Westview, it just said V. It didn't say Vision. So we're thinking Victor Von Doom.
And he's a sorcerer, and his mom was actually a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
So
that could be the connection.
I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but we just thought that was interesting. And then not only that, but that would be such a cool way, if they're going to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, that would be a cool way to introduce
to not bring it in with one of the Fantastic Four, bring it in with their arch nemesis.
And regardless of whether Victor Von Doom shows up, tell him who we would think would be a great Von Doom.
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen!
Who, if you don't know who that is the man who played Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings movies.
He would make an awesome
So
Doom.
we're thinking, I mean, he's definitely, I think he's the right man for the job.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of our insanity for the day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please let us know what you guys think in the comments. We're anxious for Friday's episode to see where they go with all this and then where they go in the future. If you'd like to subscribe, please click that circle right there. And until the next time we see you,